All right, folks, in this Sunday update, we're going to be talking about Ripple's stablecoin being backed by XRP. And I also got an update on the XRP Unleashed documentary for you. I'm excited to share this update. It's going to be very important. Now, I want to get into this episode and what I titled it, which was the potential for Ripple's stablecoin to be backed by XRP. This is something that I've been talking about as soon as the news came out that Ripple was going to launch this stablecoin. This is one of the first things that I mentioned was how strong Ripple's position is as an issuer of a stablecoin. When you compare them against Circle, when you compare them against Tether, they have unique advantages, and one of them being their big bag of XRP. Now, I saw this one. This was an interview with the Bearable Bull and Crypto Eddie, and I saw her mention something that we've been talking about. Let's listen in.
If the regulatory clarity becomes very clear and the rails are truly defined globally. Now, just hear me out here. One of the things that could happen, and wow, it would be amazing. So as the real USD is being backed with short-term bonds and whatever paper that they choose to use, and that may change depending on the markets, right? So could end up being other things like, who knows what they'll back it up with. But if they chose to back it up with, let's say, not a lot, but a portion of those reserves backed with XRP.
Whoa. Where have we heard that one before? Okay, let's let her finish.
Now, I know I asked David specifically on Twitter if that was ever in the planning stages, or could that ever happen, or was that going to happen? You know, I don't remember exactly the way I worded it, and he said no, it wasn't. And I said, oh darn, that would have been fantastic if that was part of the plan. But that doesn't mean that couldn't be part of the plan in the future based on regulatory clarity with digital assets. And they have so much money that they could collateralize that. So they could park a portion of that XRP to back up as part of the reserves, but also collateralize it with other forms of assets. Do you see where I'm going? That would be an amazing use case for the digital asset.
Ooh, now we're catching up to speed, aren't we? Where have we heard that one before, right? See, and this is where I've continued to talk about this in regards to Ripple and XRP and some other things as well too. But you got these people that want to wait till the headlines in front of them, till the mainstream media has told them, or the headlines told them, or some sort of authority has told them. It can't come from me. It can't come from me. And God forbid when I come up with any of these crazy ideas. But as I've been saying, nobody needs to wait around for Ripple to directly say that we are backing our stablecoin by XRP. Everybody knows Ripple has 40 billion XRP. It's worth over $20 billion. And like she said, we all know that they have a bunch of cash too. When the US government shows up, they send their diplomats to negotiate with the country. Do the diplomats need to, plainly say that the United States has the largest military known to man? No, that's inherent in negotiations. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that we're backed by the biggest military in existence. You don't need to televise that. You don't need to say it. You don't need to explain it. Now, will Ripple come out and explicitly, directly, actually back their stablecoin by XRP? Who knows? I really don't know. I think that it's a way to give them another competitive advantage against Circle and against Tether. I've already spoken about the other competitive advantages that they have, but that would just be another one. That'd be the cherry on top. There's no way that Circle and Tether can come up with some sort of solution like that Ripple already has. They have XRP at no cost basis, a bunch of it that they get to have on their balance sheet. And so, I'm glad to see that Elizabeth, brought that up in that conversation, that she's coming around to some of these ideas. One of the ideas that she, didn't want to come around to, and one that was heavily attacked, was our red folder and the whole buyback conversation, which wasn't even about a buyback, but that's part of the misinformation and lies that were spread about this conversation. But the reason why I wanted to pull this out here today, and boy, were we proven right in every aspect of the red folder, weren't we? Was I wanted to pull this documentation out, because what I'm going to show you next is the very simple idea of folks leaving XRP, giving up on XRP, losing faith, and forgetting what got us here, and forgetting what's been confirmed in the court documents for us all to read, which is the fact that we still have 1,700 contracts that were executed, cited in this case. 1,700 NDAs, which we don't know if all of them are tied up in NDAs. They were hidden. They were, none of the information or none of this contracts were actually revealed. So there may be NDAs. We know that NDAs have been mentioned in the past. But what I wanted to bring your attention to is that of the 1,700 contracts, we saw this right here. This is on page 4 of the remedies ruling from Judge Torres. Ripple has been found liable for violating Section 5 in its sales of XRP to institutional buyers. These violations were not isolated. They spanned 8 years and involved 41 counterparties. So of the contracts that did violate Section 5, it involved 41 counterparties. Of those 1,700 contracts, the court finds that 1,278 transactions violated Section 5. So not all of those 1,700 contracts violated Section 5, which is important to understand too. Now, the other thing that I want to mention is this portion right here, page 7. Although the court noted that some institutional buyers agreed to lockup provisions or resale restrictions, features inconsistent with the notion that XRP was used as a currency or for some other consumptive use, the court did not hold that the contracts lacking these features is ipso facto lawful under Section 5. So to be clear, the court does not hold today that Ripple's post-complaint sales have violated Section 5, which is the statement on ODL, basically saying that the court is not going to say that the post-complaint sales violated the law. But the reason why I'm bringing this up here today is just to say that until this plays out, until we get to see Ripple stablecoin launched, regulations set forward, the clarity around these assets in the United States set, until we get to see what type of 41 counterparties tried to, and did, not that they didn't try, they did buy XRP from Ripple. Until we get to see what these institutions were doing, buying XRP with features of the contract that were inconsistent with the notion that XRP was to be used as a currency or for other consumptive use. Well, if it's not going to be used as a currency or for other consumptive use, what the heck's it going to be used for? And this is where we bring up that word that, the crypto police don't want us to use, which is a reserve currency or a reserve asset. And if Ripple were to back their stablecoin by XRP, would that not make XRP a reserve? I rest my case. Folks, until we see this story play out, I am not relenting from my thesis that XRP is still being treated as a world reserve digital currency by Ripple. It's being treated as one by myself. I believe that some of these institutions are treating it as a reserve currency themselves. And until we start to see this, and until we see this thing all the way through, I will not give up. I will not relent. We are waiting right now for the window of appeal to expire. And that would be October 6th, October 7th, I believe. And the good news that I have for you guys in relation to that is that shortly thereafter, the XRP Unleashed documentary is set to be released for limited viewing in a select handful of cities across the United States. So they're going to do a showing across the country in about a half dozen different cities, I believe. And I spoke with Chris and Maya yesterday. A huge shout out to them and their team. I wanted to be able to give you guys this update. The documentary is for sure coming out this year. That's the good news. The good news is it's coming out this year. And the good news is it's going to be blasted across multiple streaming platforms. Now, to not much surprise, we do find out that Hollywood is not interested in this story. Go figure, right? Hollywood is not interested in this story. They don't think that we have the juice. And so although the team took this documentary to, everywhere, they tried to take it to Netflix. Doesn't appear like Netflix is interested. Doesn't appear like Hollywood's interested. And I think that they're going to be regretting this decision, because this is a story right here with these documents, this final ruling. This is a victory. And the timing of this documentary release, I don't think could be better. If the window of appeal expires, there's no appeal, and we drop the documentary for everybody to see and for everybody to celebrate this victory over the SEC, the timing could not be better. So I wanted to update you guys on that. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts. What do you think about Ripple stablecoin being backed by XRP? Even if it's not directly, I've been saying it's an indirect backing. The United States doesn't need to announce when they sit down at the table to negotiate with you that they have the largest standing military known to man. Everybody knows that. When Ripple sits down at the table with you to negotiate, they don't need to tell you that they have a large amount of XRP. Everybody knows that. And this is why I've been saying that indirectly, Ripple sits in the best position. They are the best counterparty when it comes to picking a stable coin. Circle's been great. They got caught up in the banking crisis last year when they had $3 billion of their collateral at Silvergate or whatever bank it was. Tether, don't get me started on that one. Other issuers, none of them compete to Ripple in the unique position that Ripple finds themselves in. You guys let me know in the comments down below. You guys let me know what you guys think about this documentary, the timing of it coming out. It's looking like it's going to drop in the end of this year, late October, November, after the pre-screening showing across the country. You guys let me know on the way out. If you appreciate the update, please make sure to like this video, share it out far and wide, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.